Hello, and welcome to my channel. And today I thought I'm doing a little whip and chat, but I thought instead of me doing my cross stitch conversion, I thought I would do Elsa. I'll put a picture up here, but this is Elsa, which if you've been around on my channel, let me just get this open. If you've been around on my channel for within the last month or so, you'll know that I'm doing Elsa as I think of her as a kind of a Christmas canvas because of all the snow and ice and all this sort of stuff. So basically, I thought I'd start her now, get her kitted up, and make a dent because there's a lot of blue and she's very big. And yeah, it's a Christmas in July. So let me just get straight into picking a colour. Now, what shall I do? Let's do this one with a little bow tie. Now I have put autofocus, set it up here, so hopefully it won't do the pulsing thing. Yeah, so if little things are out of focus at times, it's because of that. Now, do I want to? Do you know? I do have my multiplate. Let's go through. So this is Diamond Art Club tray. These are Diamond Art Studio tweezers. This is the Diamond Art Club kit. Obviously, I've got just one of these little single placers, which I won't be using that much because I mostly place single place with tweezers. But sometimes, like it gets a little hole, and I use that to pop it in. I've got an Add More Zest trashy tray, and this pen is just one that I got out of off of Amazon. Anything that I've got links for, they will be below in the description. But yeah, so let's just get cracking, shall we? I'm just going to use my. I don't generally use a multiplacer, but this one I've basically had to come to terms with the fact it's so big and there's so much blue that I can use a multiplacer for a little bit. It's only a 4 multiplacer. This is one of the DAC multiplacers, which I do really like because it's really sort of narrow and tight. So, and this is a nice tight canvas as well. Like the drill field is really nice and snuggly buggly, which I like in a drill canvas, in a drill field of a canvas. So I will be doing occasional bits of multiplacing. I don't do it all the time, but just like to give me a head start on some drills, so that it's not quite so. Oh, I did not mean to pick up 4. That's all right. I've dropped. I've dropped on. Let me get that. But yeah, how are you all? I hope you are well. What are you up to? For me, it's Friday. It's a Friday, near the end of July. So yeah, I'm running out of time. So that's another reason why I thought, let's do this as a whip on camera, because I think it will come at the sacrifice of my cross stitch conversion, possibly for this month. Depends if I can get time to film my cross stitch conversion on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I think it's the 31st is Wednesday. Maybe it's Thursday. We'll see. So I might be able to squeeze in a cross stitch conversion, but I thought if it won't kill me 1 month, I'll just have to do it twice next month. But this painting, if you've missed the memo, because I'm doing it for Christmas in July, and then Elsa's going for a nap. 1st of August, she will go nap. Just have a little snooze until December the 1st. So I didn't want to, I wanted to do this one while I had the chance, just to break up. The reason I'm doing it, sorry, it's got a bit of a shadow there. The reason why, obviously, is just there's so much blue, and they're nice bright colours, and there are special drills and things like that. That's that one I didn't get straight. See, that's why I sometimes don't use a multiplacer. Well, most of the time, it's a very rare occasion I use a multiplacer. But yeah, she is 1.3 meters, so 130 centimeters. I don't know what that is in inches. I can't remember. That slid quite easily. Is that a round bar? This color, I think it's this color. One of these blues, Diamond Art Club blues. It's a bit trashy. There's holes on top, and there's not concave ones. Got convex, so the fat butts, but not the innies. It's not many innies. But it's only one colour, so I don't know what happened there. I can't remember which one, apart from the fact it was blue, which does not help. It does not help. What was I saying? Lost the track already. Doesn't matter. I think I was just talking about how big and blue she was. So I need to, split it up. Otherwise, I'm just going to get so color palette weary of her. And I'm not a one whip. I don't have one whip. I have many whips on the go, usually at once. So why is this? My tweezers are creaking, and I think it's just because I've got this squishy. There we go. It was I think it was actually the squishy that was creaking. But yeah, I don't work on one painting at a time. But I know if I just said I'm going to start this and keep going, and it would be hanging over me a bit like a burden. Which I don't mind having background projects, but I've already got a background project. I've got that Dragon's Door, which is my background project for a regular diamond painting. So I didn't want to add a second one, not without sort of certain qualifiers. And that's why it's limited time. I'll show at the end, but I've done a bit across the top, but I've only finished a section. I think I finished a section. If you saw my half year in review, I was halfway through a square. I've definitely finished that one. I just can't remember. I don't think I've done any more because already that bit was a bit colour blocky, and I like confetti. So when there's colour blocking, I'm like, I do it for like 10-15 minutes. And I'm like, yeah, I'm bored now. So I do tend to, sometimes I'll bail between, oops, sorry for the toot toot. Sometimes I bail between colours. Let me do my spiel if you're new here, because you might be new here, as it's a Disney diamond painting. Sometimes that brings new viewers. So I live in London. And I live on a busy road, at least during the daytime. In the evening, it's a lot quieter. Right, number one. But it's a junction. And sometimes there are horns because there's traffic lights. And this is London, so it was just like, you pause, hesitate for like 0.0005 of a second at a set of traffic lights and someone toots you. It is a route for the emergency services. So you may hear sirens, usually a police car or an ambulance, but not the fire for some reason, unless there is an actual fire on my street. Have I covered it all? I think so. I don't. Usually there's a school, but the kids have broken up now for summer holidays, so there are no screaming kids. It's a primary school, so they're all quite young, and they all get very excited, and I mean very excited. And the teachers egg them on if it's a sports thing. So yeah, it's just like that can be a bit noisy, but not right now. I've got 6 weeks of school peace. I'll have to pre-film some videos, won't I? Just so they're not all screaming in the background. Though they do have I think they have a sort of summer school, where they can meet up with their friends and, give a bit of respite for, working parents. But it's a fraction of the amount of kids that go to that. So it's not anywhere near as noisy. Right, this is where I use the single placer because I'll just show that. I don't know why I did it there. I should have just done the whole section. I sometimes do checkerboard, not because I want them to be all sort of correctly, precisely placed. I get bored just doing it, so the pattern helps me. So sometimes I'll even draw, if it's a big area, I'll be drawing little hearts and little crisscrosses and boxes and stuff like that. And then it feels like I'm filling in the gaps, which somehow does not feel as bad to me, and I do not know why. I'm fooling my own brain. My brain says, "Here, fool me. I'm game. I'll play along." It's like, all right. It's just so I'm just, yeah. No, this is where I'm going to do it. This is the one with the clear waxing of Diamond Art Clubs. I keep these. The reason why I like these Diamond Art Club pens because they're really good for just laying around. If I'm doing a round canvas, I usually have a pen. Obviously, I've got the straightener and the multiplacer in this one, but I'll have a pen handy. But if I'm just doing something else, it's so easy to have them all just hanging around in strategic places because you never have to worry about whether they've got any wax in them because they always have wax in them until you've used it all up. I could have used the multiplacer for that, couldn't I? Have I just put that in the wrong place? Let me check. No, this one. I was like, oh, I thought I'd. Right, okay. There's more than one line of ones. Okay, we will use multiplacer. But yeah, how are you all? What are you working on at the moment? I hope you're well. I hope you are not suffering from a heat wave. I think that was the topic for everybody the last time I did a whip and chat because there's been multiple heat waves. It's quite warm today, but it's a bit cloudy. But the rest of the week, earlier this week, I went out yesterday. I had to put a sweater on. It's just like it was chilly because it was overcast and it was windy. So for the last maybe 10 days, it did, and it rained, which is good because we got a lot of areas going into drought because we just have not had the rain. Our rain usually comes in the spring. We did not get it. So, yeah, I'm sure they'll all be glad of the rain. I think there's more rain forecast for this weekend and thunderstorms. So, any more ones? Yes. So, yeah, I'm enjoying the reprieve. It's nice not to be. Well, I'm not sweltering because we do have a little air conditioning unit, which is the best thing ever. The best thing ever. We don't do air conditioners in the UK very much, so it's actually quite a big deal to own one. I think they're starting to get a bit more common. I was walking down the street the other day and I saw one hanging out of a window, like the tube, because it's not built into any of our houses. Apparently, we like to suffer. And I was talking about that the other day and saying, oh, maybe they put them in new builds. But somebody in a new build come up and said, no, we're living in a greenhouse at the moment. It's like, oh no. One day we'll accept, the nation will accept that we want air conditioning built in our houses. But apparently not yet. Right, I'm going to do this dot, which is 3865. I thought I'd do this section instead of the boring one because there's a bit more to see. Not much more to see, but there's a bit more. I think this is like the ice castle. So yeah, right. Get some of these multiplaces in. I don't mind doing multiplacing twos. That's nice and easy. And the reason why I don't like multiplacing is not because I can't do it, because sometimes you do find you have to fiddle with the drills a bit because they're out of alignment. But also, like, I have this real thing in my head about repeating pattern. Like, you can see quite often, you can see when you've been working with a multiplacer, like, because everything's too perfect, and like you get the perfect rows, and it's just like I don't want to look like a machine. I think that's what it is. I've got this real bee in my bonnet. I have been known. I'll go through with a straightener, but sometimes I'll be like, no, I've done it too straight, and then I'll be like, oh yeah, let's just push that one in there so it's a bit wonky. My brain, it just it thinks weird things. It's part of my charm. Right, let's do a few of these. Oh dear, well, there's a little bit of road rage there because he'd stopped at a green light, so there was tooting, and then the light turned red. Sorry, I sit right by the window because I can be really nosy and see what's going on. And as the lights turned red, he then jumped the red light. So the person who was tooting was obviously the person who was behind. So he'd obviously stopped for a reason. Like, I don't know if they've had a little bit of annoyance further up street, maybe. Who knows? So there was a few hand gestures, and we'll just leave it at that. Yes, it was a very visual protest. Now, what was I talking about? I don't even know. Maybe oh yeah, the repeat pattern. So that's the only reason I don't usually use multiplaces. But that's why I tend to go hop about. So I treat multiplaces like I'm just giving myself a head start on projects like this. Yeah, this one is too big. I had to be realistic about it, and also the blue would drive me insane. Even though they are pretty blues, I just yeah, there needs to be go for that middle one. I need to be realistic about how long this would take me otherwise, and more to the point, how quickly at some point it would just feel like hanging over me all the time. Oh, there's some cranky people out here today. Oh, I've only picked up one. Let's put it there. So, what's been happening? Let me think. Oh, I did my first premiere. So, I mentioned it earlier about the half year in review where I was talking about this canvas, but I did that as a premiere. So, if you turned up and was there for that, thank you. That was nice. I appreciated the support. And if you was there lurking, because I do know there were some lurkers, and you didn't want to speak, that is also absolutely fine. Just I appreciate you turning up. It was nice, and it was quite fun. I think I will do one again at some point. I don't know when. It feels like a special occasion thing, so I won't be doing a premiere all the time. But yeah, I feel like every now and again, maybe one every 2 or 3 months, that sort of thing. Otherwise, all that happen is, do I want to do this one? Let me do this one. That's just under the plastic. Yeah, because if I did them regularly, I'm pretty sure people. I mean, people made an effort this time to turn up, so that's nice. But people aren't going to make an effort to do that every week, sort of thing. So, right. Well, what I'm going to think about what I'm doing. Right, let's do these ones. So yeah, special occasions, and then, but yeah, it was really nice. It was a fun thing to do for a change, and it was nice to be able to chat with people like in real time. Yeah, thank you. So what else have I been up to though? Is there any other diamond painting news? I don't think there's any. I mean, Hannah Lynn has pumped out even more pictures, but that's expected because she's just started up this diamond painting company, and she has a huge catalogue of pictures. So that I think there'll be new canvases popping up there. It seems to be every 1 to 2 weeks she adds to her website. And what else? Oh, does anybody else have a trouble? I sometimes have trouble with Diamond Art Club's glue. Like, it's a bit slick. Sometimes, see, I wasn't even pressing that hard, and it's actually, where did it go? I don't even know where it went. It pinged. It was stuck on the canvas, and it pinged off because it wasn't sticky enough. And like sometimes you just have to get this and like really press down, like sort of feel like it's embedding it in the glue. No, that one isn't sticking. Is that bottom or is it just is that not sticky or something? And mostly this canvas has been all right till now. That does not feel sticky. Hmm. Like yeah, it's a bit slick. This is the first time I've had this problem on this canvas. So hopefully it's just a little patch there. My dragon's door is like that all over, or at least all along. I've only done the bottom section. But yeah, let's just push that down. We'll just really, really, really push them into the glue. It does kind of feel sticky, but it's just not, yeah. Right, I digress. But yeah, Dragon's Door is like that. It's really, really slick, and I don't know why, because it does feel sticky. It's like if you put your finger on it, it'd be like plenty sticky. But it's like it's too smooth, so it just like the drills just slide, and I'll be like, I'll push here down on this to like just pressing the drill in to get it in tight, and like 4 or 5 or 6 drills will all just like scoot up like a hot mess. I'm like, why? Don't do this. I think that might be a little bit why I don't get drawn to that canvas very much, even though it's a background project, so I don't expect it to be like high profile. I just every time I touch it, it's just like, oh yeah, it does this. It does this. I do not like. Oh, stick and stay stuck. Get in there. Oh, and also other diamond painting news. I mean, I to be honest, I think this might be. This is a bit of a niche company, not niche, but it was a small company that I'd kind of heard of, that was on my radar, but I would never remember unless somebody mentioned their name. It was one of those kind of companies called Diamond. I think that was Spanish, you know, in the same sense as Orloa is French Canadian, and what's the other one? Carrot Art is German, and Diamond Paint Deutschland is obviously German, but these people were Spanish. Anyway, there's another one, another company bit the dust. They're shutting up shop. I think because they are still taking orders, so this isn't like they've gone out, you know, they're not gone bankrupt type thing. It's more that it's a bit more of a craftably situation where they're like, yeah, we can do it, but we're just not making any money. We're just not making, or well, not making enough money for this to be sustainable. So yeah, if you've ever looked at Mood, I think it's DIY. I can't. I think it's OOD. I'll link them below because I do intend to get this painting this video up before the end of the month. But yeah, it's just if you want to order for them, you need to do it by July 31st because that's the last day they're taking orders. So that's always a shame. I hate it. You know, we did go through. Maybe it did become a little bit oversaturated. It did go through a phase where, like, every 5 minutes there was a new diamond painting company that opened its doors, sort of thing. And especially these days with AI art as well, like that kind of exacerbated it. But I think just maybe it's just not sustainable to have so many companies, especially at a time where, you know, like finances are a concern for a lot of households, you know, and when you're worried about money, one of the first things to go out the door is like your hobbies, isn't it? It's almost, this is kind of why I like to have a stash, because if there comes a time in my life, oh, that just straight up pinged. If there comes a time in my life where, you know, I'm not so flush, then I've still got a nice little stash to keep me going. So yeah, it's sad. It's understandable that like there's been a little flurry of things, businesses shutting down. Oh, one up here. Do that one. I haven't got them all. Now I've just got to fix that because I put all bubbles. Hopefully it's not too shiny on it. I've put this here in the hopes that it will cover up some of the plastic shine because I am next to the window. And I've got the light on because it's cloudy outside. It's warm, but it's cloudy. I think that's why we're going to have thunderstorms over the weekend. But it means I've got my light on. and I try to do it like a bit far away, not too far. I can't have it too far away because then it wouldn't be any good, but also then it's like not so intense. Right, what shall I do next? Which colour? Let's do this arrow, which is this one. I always turn, because I'm working on it sideways, so I always turn the pot the way it's facing, just in case I have a brain fart. Perish the thought. Just, like, I have a brain fart every 5 minutes. It's like, yeah, I need to dummy proof this system of working sideways. Right, so let's do this. Put a few in here. I especially don't mind doing multi places along the border because it helps them keep them straight. Usually, straight line down the edge. But yeah, so that is all the diamond painting news, I think. Unless we're going to talk about this one. She's going to look so pretty when she's done. Whenever, hopefully, I see it in my lifetime, along with my cross stitch conversion. Just like she is a bit big. I'm pretty sure I should be intimidated by big canvases. I'm not. I'm just like, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's slow. I think it's because I don't have a very good concept of time either. Like, even like on day to day, I am that person. There are people who are always early for when they're going for something, and then there's people who are always late, and I'm always late because I've always underestimated how long something will take me to get somewhere, or I always assume a perfect journey, never accounting for like traffic or weather and things like that. The only things I'm ever on time for are like aeroplanes, you know, things like that, things that won't wait. Cruise ships. I'm always on time for those because I know they will not wait for me, and they cost too much money to miss. All right, let's do some of these. But was I going anywhere with that? I don't think I was. Just because of the size of this. Right, there is a trash drill. Got a tab on it. Come to mama. It's upside down. Right, there it is. I mean, it'd probably help if I turn my tweezers the right way as well. But yeah, so I'm hoping. I don't know. I probably won't get this section. This is a slightly smaller section because it's at the edge. So it will get mostly filled, but I don't think I'll be able to finish it in a single video because I'm not that fast a diamond painter. Even with a multiplacer, I'm not that fast. Look, see, it's skidded. Stop skidding. Get in there. Don't slide. I only want you to slide when I've done it in the wrong place, and then you can slide. When I've done it right, you stay put. So yeah. So the goal this weekend, because it's Friday. Did I mention it's Friday today? So this weekend, I'll obviously finish whatever is left on this panel, and then I want to try and get at least one more panel of the more boring part of the squares, because I mean, they're not a single, it's not solid color blocking. There's only like 3 or 4 colors in them, sort of thing. Or if there's not, it feels like it. So I want to get at least one of those done, and then that gives me sort of 3 or 4 days to then do another 2 panels to get, and then I'll get the whole row done, and then this little section, and then I'll be happy. I'll be happy to stop there. Where do I want this? Go there. And I think I will single place these ones in between, just so that. Right, let's do that one. And we'll do that one. And so yeah, and then she goes nap nap. Can't remember if I said already. I'm a bit all over the place at the moment today. I don't know what's wrong with me. But if I didn't say, well, I'm saying it again. If I did say it, I will post a picture of this canvas on my. That's got. I don't know what that is in it. something is sitting in the. Oh, you won't be able to see because I've taken off the autofocus. Oh no, I dropped the drill. There, it had a bit in it. There it is. Like an actual sort of. Like it looks like a colour stain. It looks kind of orangey, so I assume it's like a blob of dye or ink or whatever they use to colour the drills. But it was a drip. It was not. It was not the correct colour. It was like orange. Can't remember what I was saying. Was it about right? This could well be now the third time then that I've told you about my Facebook page. 1st of August or 2nd of August, sometime around August, the first week of August, whenever I'm organised enough, I will take a picture of what I've done. Is it? I think I've got all the arrows. I'll take a picture of like what she looks like before she goes for a nap. I do. I keep saying nap up quite a lot, which makes me think that I had already said that. Get in. Right. Let's do wigglies. Oh no, let's do these lines because I can see these. I could see the pot for that. I didn't have to look for the pot. It's a very exciting grey. So on my diamond painting, not diamond painting news, colouring news, because you know I do have my colouring channel, and I wanted to. I've just the other day I did. I started painting by number. I was actually sent it as a PR package like earlier in the year, and you know the guy. All you have to do is like you just unbox it on your channel, sort of thing. So I thought, yeah, I'll do that. Especially as I'd only just started up my colouring channel again after a long break. I'm like, it's nice and easy, free, a bit of free content. Do you know what I mean? So, and then I wanted to actually do it, you know, as a review. Some people, when I looked up this company called House Art, a lot of people had done the unboxings and they'd done reviews. But they'd all done it in the same video, and I feel like that connects the two things. So because of that, because it's like connected to the free product, that they might be not biased, but I think I think you can't help it, can you? If you receive a product for free, you try to be, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Unbiased. Even though you've had it for free, you do try and be unbiased, because you need, you know, nobody would trust you if you just turned into a mouthpiece for a company. Nobody would trust you anymore. And a video is like one collaboration, but like your viewers, if your viewers don't trust you, there's something wrong with that. No, I think that's just a funny light. It happens to me sometimes. I look at it and it's just the facet, the way the light's catching a facet. There's nothing wrong with it. Get in there. Yeah. So you know, you'd be a fool to prioritize one collaboration or, you know, company that you work with over your viewers anyway, because you know they're the ones that come back time after time. So if you can't be honest with them, then it's just like that. People know, like I know there are channels out there that I come across and I'm like, shall I say? And I hear them and I'm like, do you know what, you're not, you yeah, it just it doesn't feel like you respect your viewers. Anyway, cool. I didn't mean to go on a little soapbox moment. Why can I not say soapbox? Soapbox moment. So yeah. Anyway, I thought even when you want to be unbiased, if you might say, oh yeah, this isn't very good and that isn't very good, if you're not impressed by it. But even then, you're probably not feeling it as much because you've not paid your own money for it. Like you know, I'm more inclined to be, you know, more annoyed if I've paid X amount of money for something, and I would think, both. I don't know where I'm going with this. Just that, you know, if a product is bad, right, and you don't recommend it, you give your honest opinion, but both of them will be honest opinion. One if you've paid for it, and one if you haven't paid for it. Both can be honest opinions, but the one that you've paid for yourself is always going to feel that little bit worse because you have paid for it. And I think when you've got a product for free, despite your best will in the world, it's probably like it's not going to be feel as bad as what it would feel like if you'd paid for it. Does that make sense? I don't know where I'm going with that. Anyway, I thought I'm going to separate the two. I'm not. Where did that go? There. I'm going to do this. I'm going to review the painting separate from the unboxing, and that way, I'm not. It puts a bit of distance with it, and I still haven't paid for it, obviously. So, if it is awful, then it's not going to feel as awful as if I did fork up money for it. But I left a few because I'm fairly sure I got that in about February, and I started it in July, so I had a nice break from it, thinking about it as being a PR package, and like now I just think of it more as something in my stash, if that makes sense. So I started that. So we'll see how that goes. That was a bit wonky there. I probably shouldn't have done that because it's under that thing and it's going to push the plastic up now. But I'm committed, so we'll have to carry on. So yeah, I mean, it's quite fun. I wasn't sure whether to do it almost on this channel because a painting by number obviously has a lot of similarities to a diamond painting, but it also has a lot of similarities to a colour by number, which I obviously do on my colouring channel. So I was just like, where do I do it? Oh, look, this sticky, like it's not coming out. Stop sliding. Stop it. I think I'll just do this with tweezers here. Like the putty, it was just kept coming up with the putty. Stupid glue. Right, we'll do that. There we go, sorted. I don't know, it's probably where, because that is literally where the dotted line is. I don't know how they punch holes in this, whether it's on the canvas already when they punch it. I hope not. I don't see any marks on it. Who knows? Right, that was the exciting. No, that's not the exciting grey. Look, there's more grey there. Oh, there's loads more grey. Let's do that one. Do some threes. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with me today. I am very discombobulated. Maybe because it's Friday. I'm all over the place. I mean, I would say this isn't like me, but it is a bit like me. But normally not quite so bad. I'm usually a bit discombobulated. It's just an excuse to say discombobulated. That's got a mark on it. Right, let's go there. Have I got all the... No, right, so let's do these ones. In here, quick. How are we doing for time? Oh, I've been a while. I don't know how I'm so slow. Even with the multiplacer, I'm still slow. Oh, it's like 40 minutes. And I'm not even halfway through. That's what you get for having a rant about all sorts of things. All sorts of nothing things. Right, right, there's still two up there. I have to be careful because like this wiggle line, and it is very different. Well, it's not a very different thing. It's quite a similar symbol, but it's not identical. Like you can tell them apart quite easily when you're paying attention. My trouble is I do tend to sort of get in the zone, and then the next thing I know, I'm like, I've placed all of them ones. I'm like, hang on a minute, I only had 3 left. Why am I still doing it? Right, I've got them all. I think I have. I missed one though. That's annoying. That'll be one of the things I can come back to at the end. Right. What shall we do next? What's this? A little and sign. Here. Oh, look, it's a blue. Shocking. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, I would appreciate a thumbs up if you haven't, or a thumbs down. I don't mind. But yeah, it's just I'm trying. It's the never-ending battle to appease the YouTube gods. And what can I say? They like interaction. I have really good watch time on my videos, so I know you do stick around, you crazies. But yeah, sometimes even things like the likes are a bit low. That's got something on the corner. Is it? You know, I don't know. It might be the light again. I think it's because these are the new. Well, I don't think they're that new anymore. Like the pyramid style drills, and sometimes they just reflect the light a little bit different, and like my eyes are not prepared for change. I don't like change. I like things to always be the same. Stop sliding. I wasn't even touching you, and somehow you moved. But yes, I might do my emoji game later. Random emoji that I'll tell you to put into a comment, or I'll ask you if you would be willing. Because I know sometimes it can be hard to make a comment. Sometimes I get it. I'm the same. Sometimes I don't have the spoons, if you're familiar with that phrase. Like sometimes, specifically with being social, like I can't bring myself to do even a simple interaction. So I'll drop a like if I can. Like that's the worst case scenario. I just drop a like. I always drop likes. That's the one thing I can do. Sometimes if I'm just not feeling very sociable, but I'm not completely off the rails, then I can drop an emoji, especially if one's been asked for. But sometimes even if it's not, I can drop the emoji instead of actually making coherent comment. Good days, you can always tell a good day because I'll talk, and the better the good day, the longer my comment will be. Sometimes it'll be like one sentence, and sometimes it'll be a small essay. But please, if you have a diamond painting channel, then I probably watch you. I just probably also lurk quite a lot. I don't always comment, but I know who you are, and I watch. Honest gov. And what more can you ask for than that? I know I asked for like likes and emojis and whatever's, but just the fact that you do stick around and watch, it just means the world to me. It's hard for me to. I don't think I say that enough, but I do appreciate you because I know I'm just this channel is a bit of a hot mess. I am a hot mess. I'm all over the place. I will never be a professional YouTuber. When I say that, I don't mean like for work. Well, that probably won't happen either. Wouldn't it be nice to do that? I would like to play around. I have something in the works. I'll probably announce in one of my cross stitch conversion chats just some real life things which may affect my how many videos I post coming up in the future. But that's for another day. It's just not now. But yeah, I really appreciate people who watch and when I say I'm not a professional YouTuber, I just mean from the point of view of like, you're never going to get these sort of slick tutorials about all the right ways to do things. There will be my way I do things, and you'll see me making a mess of it, or like making a meal out of something, and then you'll know what not to do. You might get some ideas about what to do, but you also might get some ideas what not to do. And so, like, I'll never be sort of like one of these sort of slick presentations. It's just not who I am. Not who I am. I'm too. I'm too sort of random. You know what? I think I just scratched that drill by accident. I felt it crunch. I don't often do that. Despite how much I use tweezers, it's rare that I actually scratch a drill. Right. Oh, there's still some more there. Lots of these A's. Oh, yeah, sorry, I had a little bit of a moment there. A little bit of an appreciation for you all. I love you guys. Just, it's like when you get too drunk on a Friday night. I wish I haven't been drunk in years. I'm of the age where the hangovers just was not worth it. Like the older you get, the less your body can cope with the alcohol. It's just like, do you know what? It's not worth it. So I don't actually drink that much. But if I did drink, get up here. If I did drink more, I am partial to a cocktail. When I'm on holiday, nice pina colada or Mai Tai. There you go. There's our emoji. Give me a cocktail or drink. Maybe you're teetotal or coffee total. Let me know. Do you know what? I think it might be the dotted line because look, these ones are a bit slippy as well. And this is along where the edge of the dotted line was. But yeah, drop me an emoji with your tipple of choice, whether it be alcoholic or non-alcoholic or tea or juice or anything. That's the emoji. But yeah, like back when you was young, or like you go out on Friday night and you had a few too many drinks at night. You're with your friend and you're like, "Oh yeah, my best friend, I love you." It's just like then the next day you're just like, "Wow, that was embarrassing." You're amazing. I love you so much. Oh, oh, Ken. What was it? Hey, he tried to escape. Anyway, wow. And this is one of those chats. No, there's another one. Okay, let's do two. I missed two of those. Let's just do these while I think about it. What else has been happening? Oh, for people in the future, yeah. So you're watching this, so they're all dropping like flies this week. Ozzy Osbourne and also the Hulk Hogan. Very similar but dissimilar people at the same time. They're like, I don't know. You know, obviously they was in very different sort of niches, but they were certainly, the pair of them were both real big sort of characters. And yeah, so they both. Where's Miss Wiggly line? So yeah, they both moved on from this mortal coil. Where's the wiggly lines? Oh, it's a fairy dust. That's why I was looking in the normal ones. I've got some fairy dust. These wiggle lines. Yeah, I'm glad. Let's do the fairy dust before I end. I don't know how much longer I'm going to go for. Not that much longer. I think, as is a normal whip and chat versus a cross stitch one, it's a lot harder to stop sometimes on a cross stitch conversion because it moves that much more slowly. You know, you get less done. It would feel like you've just, you're stopping the whip and chat and you've only laid like 100 drills. It's just like, oh. Whereas with a regular whip and chat, you feel like you've got the progress. So I will probably aim around the hour mark, probably a bit over the hour, but not much, just enough to get the bulk of this section done. And yeah, so that was in the news. I don't know. It feels, especially Aussie. I mean, I was not a huge Black Sabbath fan or anything like that, but they was on the news just like 2 weeks ago because he had his final concert, and I did feel bad for him. He was sitting in a chair. I think he had Parkinson's. Wow. Okay, they're not usually this bad. If you heard the, the horn toot, I cannot speak today either. But yeah, it's a bit like earlier in the year, wasn't it, when like the Pope died, and you're like, but I only saw him yesterday on the news doing his little Easter thing. I feel so weird when like I just saw you and now you're gone. It's kind of sad, and yet also if like you feel like at least they sort of went on a high note. I think if when my time comes, I'd prefer it to be. I'd have just had a good time. I've always said, right, this is a cheerful conversation. I've always said if I'm in a plane crash, going on holiday, like from a holiday, because usually the only time I fly is when I'm like going on vacation. It's like at least let it be on the way home, so I've had a good time. I would be so annoyed, so annoyed. I'd come back as a ghost and haunt someone for like, how dare you? Oh. I have a weird sense of humour sometimes. I don't know. In a way, it's kind of a British thing. I think we like our sort of dark humour. I mean, obviously everybody does throughout the world, but as a nation, I mean, generally we like things like sarcasm is a much more prevalent form of humour in the UK, I think, than it is elsewhere. And that's not to say other countries don't do sarcasm, but just like everybody is sarcastic. It's just like, or self-deprecating. We can be quite self-deprecating as well. But to my mind, humor, like you need humor to get through the darkest moments in life. Is sometimes when you need humor the most. Do you know what I mean? It helps keep you sane. Well, it helps keep me sane anyway. As sane as I can be. Obviously, there's limits on that. But I'm doing these. I can see these lines are a bit wonky. I don't know. Just behave. What else? What else? Apart from talking about plane crashes. So they all seem to be dropping out the sky at the moment. Oh my god! I'm going on holiday later in the year. It'll be the first time I've flown since the lurgy that will not be named. But the lockdown, and we used to go on fly every year, usually quite often to Florida. Not all the time, but quite a lot. We were frequent visitors to Florida, and so obviously that's a long distance flight. But this is the first time we've flown since the lockdown. I knew that jaw had gone somewhere. So that's going to be weird. I don't know how I feel about it, but I'd feel a lot better about it if there wasn't all these planes falling out of the sky at the moment. Stop it. Though I used to work with someone who was like, oh, it'd be like he was about to go on holiday and there'd be a big plane crash, and he'd be like, right, that's good. They've got it out of the way, because he had this view that like if there was a plane crash, that all the aviation people would like double check things all the harder. I'm not sure that's really how it worked, but he was like of the view that it meant that like all the engineers would like check the planes more before he flew, so it was safer for him. Like I say, I don't think it quite works that way. I'm pretty sure they check the planes all the time, unless it's like a manufacturing fault. Then that's not going to make. It's not going to help. Let's get that in there. Oh, fairy dust are so pretty. I love them. They're like they can be quite hard to see, especially once it's like all they're surrounded by other drills. You're like, where's the fairy dust again? But they do. You turn the canvas or you look at it from a certain angle. And it's just like, oh, there they are. They're so pretty. You know me. I prefer like the sort of subtle effects. So fairy dust is like right up my street. Well, I'm using my multiplacer for all of them. Feels weird. I'll go around after I'm done filming. I'll go around with the straightener, trying to. Well, I don't have to worry about them being not perfect and lined up because I can see wiggles already. It's just like that's all right, as long as there's no light lines in between. I don't mind wiggles. It's funny what my brain accepts and doesn't. Like I don't mind wonky drills within reason. I don't mind wonky drills. Um, to me, that shows it's handmade, you know, and not by a machine. I don't want my if I have a picture hanging on a wall, I want to hang it on the wall. And go, oh, I made that. I don't want them. I don't want it hanging on the wall. And like somebody goes, oh, where did you buy that from? It's like, no, I didn't buy it. I made it, and I want it to look made. So yeah, if it makes you happy, because I know there's all these rulers and stuff that you can put on your canvas to get perfectly straight drills. If that makes you happy, that's fine. Just as long as my only quibble has always been with these people that make it, who normalize it, that it has to be perfect. And it's just like, it's fine. If that makes you happy, that's fine. But make sure you're being happy for the right reason. Don't I see too many people who are almost apologizing for it not being perfect. It's just like, no, that's there's a lot of people that like it and they normalize it and that's fine. But that's not the right way to do it. It's not the wrong way to do it either. It's just like you just do what makes you happy and don't worry about what other people think about your drills, your placement. Just make sure if you're doing them straight and perfect, you're doing it for the right reasons. You're doing it for yourself and not because somebody else has told you that's how it should be. And like there's peer pressure to get it perfect. Right, wow, really is a soapbox day today. Oh, get off. Right, that all fell off. I probably need to change my putty. It's the putty I made myself. So it's good because it's less stringy. So I didn't put a fresh putty before I started though. So I was just like, yeah, I'll be fine. Yeah, I'll be fine. Is that fine? I've got a drill there. Is that the same colour? No, it's not. No, it's not fairy dust. And what else? Oh, I suppose. Well, this is more something. I doubt if you. I know most of my viewers are in the States. I don't know why that is. Like my colouring channel, my main viewership is UK, but for diamond painting, my main viewership is definitely North American. In there. Let's get that there. Let's use tweezers for these. So I'm not sure. It's probably not on the radar as such, because also a lot of Americans are not into soccer. So for us, that would be what we call football, but in the States, you would call it soccer. And we've got the Euros going on for the moment for women's football, and England are in the final. England ladies are in the final playing Spain, so that's going to be on Sunday. I'm not into football as much as I used to be. Like I used to really sort of follow everything that's going on, and I'd watch the matches and all that sort of thing. But now I just can't be bothered. Some matches, if it's a crunch game, then I don't want to watch it because I'm too nervous to like about them winning. And before the crunch game, I'm like, oh, I'll just watch it if they get to the final. But I never do. So I sort of listen to I might listen to it on the radio or something, on the web digital radio, while I'm diamond painting. That could be a good compromise. But yeah, so that's on Sunday. But so by the time you see this video, because I'm going to be editing this over the weekend, I'm not sure when I'll get this up. Maybe Monday, maybe Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. It will definitely be in July though. Definitely be in July, because I want it to be topical for Christmas in July. Just so even if it's not, well, are they stuck together or is that just right? Bit of glue on my tweezers. Okay. Just wanted to be. It needs to be Christmas in July. Still. Do you know, I made a rod for my own back putting this underneath this sticky, this plastic cover. I don't know how I feel about these. I mean, I'm not a big cover sheet user either. So, I mean, in a way, it's easier. But also sometimes, you know, I feel like I want to ignore it. Like say, like, oh, you can't see it up here, but off screen, there's a couple where I've just gone and I'm like, but there's 3 here and it goes across. For example, let's look at this. It's like, if I've got all the H's out, I'm doing all these H's, but then there's just this, and that's all the H's in that section. So part of me just says, I'll just carry on across and do the H's, and then I won't have to get it out for that entire section. And I probably will do that. But that's the flip side, because then if that happens, then it stays up here. I guess I could not, well, I don't know. When I do it on a big canvas, I just let it flop back. Like the whole plastic cover will flop over. So it'd be like this, but it'd be the whole strip. So maybe I just shouldn't break the perforations. Right, have I got any more? One here. So yeah, that final is on Sunday. Be nice if we won that. Be nice. What else? The only other thing I've got planned, I think I'm gonna do some baking. I haven't done any baking for a while, mainly because it's been too hot. And I'm like, I don't want to turn the oven on, but like it's going to be a bit cooler over the weekend. And I've getting a lot of. I thought I'd make some bread pudding. Not to be confused with bread and butter pudding. So it's not the dessert. I don't know if this is something that is unknown. It's a bakery item, and whether it's people in the States know what that is, yeah, let me know. But it is. I've never seen it in shops, but then I probably wouldn't, because you don't really see it. There's only one bakery. Usually, you can see it in the UK. It's one called Greg's, which Greg's is amazing. But there you go. But it's a very sort of, I want to say it's a home baked item, because it's basically what you use your stale and leftover bread for. So it's a good catch-all, and that's why it's a leftovers type recipe, if that makes sense. And basically, it's obviously it's bread, but you don't use flour or anything like that in the bread pudding, because like bread is made of flour. So you get loads of old stale bread. Well, it doesn't have to be stale. It just, if you've got a new loaf, you've got a new loaf of bread, and it's like, I'd rather use the fresh one, not use the old one. So what I usually do is, if I've got like a few slices at the end of a loaf, I'll stick it in the freezer until I've got enough to make some bread pudding. And I've definitely got enough to make bread pudding, because, like I say, it's been so hot. I've just been putting stuff in the freezer. It's just like, oh, hang on, why have I got no room in the freezer? Oh, there's another one. I missed that. Oh. And but yeah, so you get all your bread, your stale bread and whatever, break it up into bits, and then you put like water and milk, and then like mixed fruit like sultanas and raisins, mixed peel. So it's mixed spice. So it's almost like it's kind of a wintry one, in the sense of like a fruit cake. So you've got that fruit cake sense to it with all those spices and fruits, but you don't have any flour, because you're using the bread, and the bread you like put the water and the milk in and things, and an egg and sugar obviously, and like it's really satisfying because you get your hands in it, like, because it all turns to mush. You think about soggy bread, that's what you're doing to it. And anyway, you put that all in a pan and you bake it for like 2 hours. And look, and I missed one there. And then it comes out as it's quite a stodgy cake. It's like a cake bar, I would say, because you do it in trays. So if you think it's not as stodgy as a brownie, it's a lot squishier, but it's quite solid in that sense. Like it doesn't wobble or anything like that. And if you pushed your finger down, like it would feel quite solid. Anyway, that's what I'm going to make on the weekend. Right, what else have I got? Let's do one more colour. Oh, let's do, for my Sims, let's do this cross mark, which is AB. We'll be doing these with tweezers. Oh, we've got a hitchhiker. Look at this. It's like a fluorescent. Oh, it's like a crystal. What's that from? I almost kind of want to keep that and use that. Oh, sorry, I've got a dirty nail. Ugh. I want to keep that. You know, what is that? I kind of want to keep that. It's a pink crystal. I might put that in just somewhere, and you never know when I might need it to just do one in an eyeball. Anyway, what was I talking about? I don't even know. Bread pudding. But yeah, let me know if you've ever heard of bread pudding, and if you haven't, I'll tell you if I do cook it, because obviously I've been meaning to cook it for a while and just haven't got around to it. I'll take a picture and I'll talk about it in my next whip and chat. And if you're interested, I'll give you the recipe. But it's good. It's a great way to use leftovers, and it's nice stodgy. We do like our stodge in the UK, and the bread pudding definitely qualifies. Like I say, definitely not confused with bread and butter pudding, which is a dessert that you have after your dinner. And that's just like a soft milk pudding. This is more like a chunky cakes. It's like a cake sandwich. It's weird. I do like a bread pudding. I don't know if it freezes up well after I cook it. Do you know what? It's one of them things that it never usually lasts long enough to be saying, "Oh, should I freeze that?" No, not in this house. To be fair, the recipe I half the quantity, so I never make quite as much as what they say you should make. There would be loads. Whereas by halving it, we eat it in like 3 or 4 days. But it's very handy because like when the other half he goes to work, he has a little packed lunch or something. Then he just takes a piece of cake with him. So he has some for lunch, and then I'll have a piece of lunch, and then 3 or 4 days it's gone. Yeah. Oh, look, and there's more of them straight lines. See, this is why sections take me so long. I'm blind, and I have to get a colour out like 3 times. But you will be spared that. You will be spared that. Get it down. I will not do it on camera. But yeah, this is the last colour we're going to do. What else is it? Wait, is that it? I think that's it. Well, I'll whip through them quick. Yeah, so that's the ABs done. Put these away. They're so pretty. Look at these. They are sparkly. I'll give them that. Like having the ABs with these extra facets makes them super blingy. Right, well, I think that's it for now. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget that emoji for your favourite drink. And yeah, don't forget to come and find me on Facebook, where around that first week of August, I'll post the progress of how far I got with this painting before I put her away for a nap. Take care and see you again soon. Bye for now. Bye.